Hi, I'm Daniel.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're watching Gear65, number 38, the weekly gadget review show. And this week's gadget is
the INQ
Mini
3G.
Yes. Now this phone is actually a pretty special phone, and as a result, right, we've actually talked a little bit more than usual. So in order to help you make this a little bit more, so you can actually get the most of what we want to tell you about this product, we've decided to split this episode into two parts. Right? So at the end of this particular video, be sure to click on the next button that will actually bring you to part 2 of the INQ Mini 3G review. Now, before we continue, right, at Gear65, if you notice, right, so for the past few, actually for all the episodes, we've been doing, smartphones and very high-end devices, right? And so this device, right, before we start, right, we thought, we actually bring you to make sure we look at it at a correct perspective. So the INQ Mini 3G, right, is a feature phone. It's not a smartphone, it's your traditional candy bar phone. Of course, quite an enhanced feature phone, of course. But nevertheless, it's very different. It's targeting at a completely different audience. So if you're really, into smartphones and all that, this phone is definitely not for you. But there definitely is a huge market for the INQ Mini 3G.
For sure.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it and we'll show you actually why.
Yes.
Alright, so before that, let's take a look at the hardware of the INQ Mini 3G. So for the start, as you can see, it's just a pretty typical, candy bar feature phone. It's the menu button is here. This one, you push this to open the menu. It's very much similar to the S60. You have a cancel button just like Sony Ericsson, and then it's very normal. And we have a 2.0 megapixel camera at the back. It's a very nice red. This is the speakers for the speakerphone. See from the top, you have this is the batteries switch to open up the battery, and then this one is a mini USB.
Yes.
So the great thing about this is that a mini USB is a pretty standard cable. So it's basically you can stop bringing extra cables. You just bring that one single cable. The charger is also pretty good. It's a normal USB charger, meaning that the charger allows you to hook up any USB device to it. So that is actually pretty cool. And then of course you have the keypad. I'm seeing on this side. This is this switch here. They call this the carousel switch.
Switcher.
The switcher. Carousel switcher. Yeah. So this button, right, basically allows you to launch the switcher. Allows you to switch between different applications. A little bit, kind of, in a way, it's multitasking. Yes, but this is basically what that switch does. This is the camera button. So this is pretty much the hardware itself.
So I do notice that there isn't any earphones 3.5mm jack.
Yes,
so
that's right.
the 3.5mm jack is really they are actually using the mini USB for the headphones itself.
Yes, that's right. So this is the only port you'll find on this device. Audio, it comes from here. It uses USB headphones. Of course, we're not really fond of that. Yeah, but then again, we don't really expect you to use this phone to listen to music. Also, this is also the data port which you can use. We'll talk about what are some of the features you can do when you hook this up to your computer.
That's right.
And
the keyboard is a little bit stiff, right? It's a little bit clicky and a little bit stiff that I don't really like about it, but I don't really have any complaints, much of complaints for it. As
always, right, you should always take a look at the phone itself and play with it and find out whether you're comfortable. There's a possibility for keypads like this that it will soften over time, but at this point in time it's a little bit stiff, the keys. So yeah, it might be a little bit tiring on your thumbs if you type a lot. Of course, it's your good old traditional T9. Yeah. So we just want to point out that this phone is an HSDPA phone. Of course, 3.2 Mbps speed.
I think it's 3.6.
3.6, yes, that's right. 3.6 Mbps data, right?
That's
so
right.
It's pretty high, relative for a feature phone. Is a pretty high speed internet. And the reason why this phone has such a good powerful modem is because, right, even though this is a feature phone, right, this phone is designed for consumers who want a really cheap phone, but yet at the same time they want to take advantage of all this whole brand new generation of connectivity, mobile services, right? So-called mobile-enabled services, specifically social networks such as Facebook and Twitter. And this is who this phone is designed for. And I would like to point out, before I continue talking about these features of the phone, right? This phone is a $0 phone, right? If you sign up with Singtel, with a plan, they have two plans available. One of them is the Flexi plan, which is $40 per month with 500 megabytes of data and your standard talk time and SMSs. It's actually a $0 phone, so it's actually a very cheap very affordable.
What's the other plan you were saying?
Oh yes, the other plan is the i1 Plus student plan, which doesn't come with data, so we highly discourage you to
It does come with data, like
2 megabytes.
2 megabytes, right?
Yeah,
which
really,
is
a bit insufficient.
Yes, that's right.
So let's talk about some of the features of the phone itself, alright? And just to show you, so this is the home screen of the INQ Mini 3G. And as you can see, right, on top straight away there are widgets on the screen. Somewhat limited widgets, but nevertheless, as you can see, the first widget up here is a weather widget. Weather widget updates all the time onto the internet. That's why it will be good for you to have data. All right, you can customize the widgets that you want to have, of course, and you can remove them if you want to. One very cool widget that I thought I wanted to point out is that this thing actually has an RSS feed widget. So you can actually sign up for RSS feeds and just put it in there. And you can actually see updates to RSS feeds. Okay.
But you can only put up to 3 widgets on the screen.
Yeah, and
there is no multiple screens involved.
Yeah, and you can't change the sequence of the widgets. But for a feature phone, a $0 feature phone, having widgets is really a good bonus already.
That's right, for sure.
So let's talk about a little bit of the social network elements. So as you can see here, right, this is the carousel. This is basically the switcher where you can launch most of the applications from. You have the address book, you have Facebook, of course, you have AMT, the IM application, INQ Hub. We'll talk about these in detail. Let's start with Facebook, alright? So you normally think we actually reviewed another feature phone, and that is the Sony Ericsson C510, and it also has Facebook functionality. And basically, you launch the Facebook application and you have a Facebook client, right? The C510 had the same thing. It's pretty typical stuff. You can see your news feed, you can take a look at your profile, your friends, and your inbox, and your photos. That is nothing special at all, right?
So what's so special about this then?
So the Facebook integration is very deep, really, really deep. So I'm going to show you, that was a Facebook client, right? I'm going to show you how deep it goes to. Let me go into the SMSs, right? So for the messaging client, other than your normal inbox, right, you actually have a Facebook inbox. So immediately, right, when people send you a Facebook message, right, they come straight to your mobile phone, and you literally see new Facebook message, new friend request alongside with your normal SMS alerts. So this phone is literally, it's like they've integrated Facebook into the phone itself, the core functionality of the phone. So that was part 1 of our video for this episode of INQ Mini 3G. Right, be sure to click on this button right here, and it will bring you to part 2, where we're going to share you with a little bit more about the INQ Mini 3G.